Alright guys, welcome back to the Hong Kong Diaries, and I hope you are enjoying all of the videos so far. I'm going to make this really short because I filmed this intro probably about 5 times now. I just really didn't like how it all came out, just because there's really not much space in this room to film. But anyway, we're just going to go through a full day of eating and also like what I train in a day on this so-called hybrid training split. I always feel like whenever you go to another country, it can be a little bit more difficult to stick to a diet, especially because you're not in the comfort of your own home. You don't have the grocery store that you normally buy all of your ingredients from. So yeah, it can make it a little bit more challenging, but it's definitely not impossible to do it. It just takes a bit more planning and maybe just discovering some new shops that you probably have never heard of before. So currently my workout routine consists of 4 to 5 days of gymming, doing all of the calisthenic stuff, and then also 3 days a week of running. So that would be an easy run, an interval session, and also a long run, which I'm using the Runner app for. I've literally just paid for it. So yeah, paid up for a whole year. So let's see how it goes. Hopefully it will do me good for the marathon next year. But in terms of how I approach my nutrition, I don't really count calories anymore. I haven't done so for the past 6 months just because it doesn't really suit my lifestyle, and I also like to enjoy food in restaurants as well, and I just find it a lot more difficult to track actual calories whenever you eat out. So I don't really do it anymore. I just kind of eat intuitively, but I look at mainly 3 main things, which is 1, performance in the gym. Am I getting stronger? Am I progressing in the calisthenics lifts? Am I fueled enough for all of my runs? The second indicator being recovery. Am I waking up the next morning feeling fresh? Am I recovered enough? Do I feel good? Do I feel motivated to tackle my sessions? And the third thing is more subjective, but it's just how I look in the mirror and whether I still like my physique, really. Like if I'm getting leaner or I'm getting bigger, then I can adjust my food accordingly. So let's get into the video. It's going to be more training today. I do want to go to a few Christmas markets as well, just to show you guys around. I've never actually been, and it doesn't really actually feel too Christmassy in Hong Kong. Like, it is Tuesday right now, it's the 10th of December, so yeah, I kind of thought it would feel a little bit more like jolly, but it really doesn't. But maybe that's because I'm not really in those areas where it feels Christmassy. So we'll go to a few of those markets. I do want to get maybe something for my grandma, and yeah, just kind of what I eat. So let's get into the first meal, which is breakfast. You just saw me cooking up those 4 eggs earlier, but we're also going to pop to the shop, which I just really discovered over the past couple of weeks, to get some other food items for breakfast as well. So yeah, I just went to get some breakfast, and I went to Hana Musubi, and I picked up a chicken breast, which is actually really helpful because it does show you the amount of protein within one of these. And also I got one of these like sushi kind of rolls, the ones that look like a triangle, and it also has the nutritional information there as well. Gay 嚟㗎 gay 嚟㗎，係啊。
Promise not to you.
Alright guys, so we're back at the K11 gym, and we're going to do an upper body session today. So we're going to focus on pull and push mainly. So we're going to do some weighted pull-ups, just working on the strength aspect. So probably doing 1 to 3 reps, and then we're going to go into some muscle ups again. After that, we're going to do a few front levers, and then to finish off, we're just going to work on some chest exercises. So barbell bench press, incline press, maybe a Smith machine, maybe some cables as well. We'll see how we feel. And that's pretty much the workout. So let's get into the warm up, and we're going to do a few of these scapular pulls. Alright, so that is the warm-up complete, and now we're going to go into our first proper exercise, which is the muscle up, and we're going to try and aim for 3 reps this time. I got 2 last time, so let's see how it goes. Yeah, not the cleanest of reps, but we'll take it, and we'll see if we can do better on the next sets. Promise. So last set, let's try and get 3. I was only able to get 2 in the first 2 sets, so I don't know. I mean, I'm just happy that I can continuously get the muscle up, whereas before I was always getting stuck, like at that transition point. But let's see, slow and steady. Promise not to. Alright, so this is the post-workout meal. We have wonton noodles once again, and we also have some barbecue pork that I'm already tucking into. In terms of like meat and protein, I like to get my meat from this shop called Park and Shop. It's called Bat Gai in Chinese, but they do a lot of cooked meat. So they do a lot of the cooked like chicken legs,
barbecue pork, they do chicken as well. I usually go for the chicken legs, but because I'm eating outside, I don't want to get my hands dirty, so barbecue pork is pretty good. I can pick it up with my chopsticks like this and then eat it. So yeah, this is it. I would say that overall, this barbecue pork here probably contains maybe around 30-35 grams of protein, and these wonton noodles, so they're made of pork and prawns, and there's 5 of them in here. I'll probably guesstimate and say it's around maybe like 15 to 20 grams of protein, probably nothing more than 20, like max, because it's probably, you know, it looks quite big, but a lot of it is just the wonton wrapping. And then the noodles obviously is just carbohydrate. I think these are egg noodles, so there might be a little bit of protein in here, but I don't really count it because, yeah, I like to underestimate my protein a lot of the time, and if I eat more than I need to, then it's okay. So that is dinner, and to be honest, I don't even know how many calories was in that dinner. I'm gonna say almost 1,000, just because every single dinner I'm always the one who's eating all of the remaining dishes, because my grandma and the maid obviously can't finish it. In terms of protein, it was pretty good. Like, we had the beef, sort of the things on the bone, I don't know what it's called guat in Chinese, so whatever that is in English. So protein content was pretty good. Veggies was obviously good as well. But the problem with like this Chinese way of cooking is that they cook so many different dishes. And unlike the West, you don't just put all of the food you're going to eat on one plate in one go. You kind of have a bowl of rice, or in my case, I had a plate of rice, and you'd each like put a little bit on your plate at a time, a little bit at a time. And at the end of it, you don't really know how much you've actually eaten, because you sort of just lose count of whatever you've had. Also, the food has a lot of sauces in it, a lot of oil, so obviously that adds to the calories. So dinner's obviously like the main big meal of the day. So yeah, going back to like the beginning of the video when I said I don't count calories, it's literally for these kind of reasons, because for me, I am someone who's like really meticulous when it comes to like gathering data and gathering numbers. And if I do ever like slip up on one of the meals, I get really anxious about it, and I end up like just getting really stressed. So to avoid that, because I don't think it's good, you know, in the long run, I just don't really track calories anymore. So that is really the reason for me not to do it. But anyway, it is time for our easy run. And yeah, as I said, I bought the app Runner, which is good. And it's a 23-week program until the London Marathon. And it's currently week 4. And I'm actually really happy that I've actually kept it up since the beginning, because I really just don't like running. I find it extremely boring. But to be honest, I'm starting to enjoy it a little bit more. I don't know if it's because it's in Hong Kong, so the weather's a bit warmer, so it's nicer. Who knows when I'll be back in the UK if I will enjoy it as much. But it's week 4 now, and it's a deload week. So every 4th week of the program, we'll have a deload week. So the weeks leading up to that, it will increase in volume and then it will deload. So it's almost like a staircase. So you go up, down a tiny bit, up, down a tiny bit, up, down a tiny bit, just to manage the volume and to make sure that, you know, recovery is there, because you can't keep adding volume every single week and not expect any injuries. So yeah, I'm going to do that in a bit. Going to rest a little bit, edit out this video. It's been quite a stressful day, I'm not going to lie, with filming and editing, because I got really tired and a bit stressed over the past few days making these videos, because like, I love aesthetic content, and this flat that I'm in is very not aesthetic at all. You're probably wondering why I'm sitting on the floor right now, and it's because I literally have nowhere that I can sit in this room that I can put a camera and have that 35 to 50 millimeter focal length, which is the length that looks good on your face. Like, if I have it really wide, like, my face just looks so distorted and I don't like it. Everything in this room is just so ugly, to be honest. Like, it's not like my flat back in London. So it's been a real like shock horror editing out this video, and it's kind of making me like really icky as well, like seeing all the colors not being very neat, and like there's just loads of like yellow tones everywhere, just like it's basically a grandma's apartment, which is where I am, so I can't really be complaining. Like, even the bed sheets, like look at this pillow. Like, I was like, should I buy just plain white bed sheets? But I'm just thinking, like, there's just no point. Like, look at the curtains. I'm having to fold the curtains out. Let me show you the curtains. It just looks so horrible. But yeah, this is just a very minor detail. Like, I obviously can't complain because I have somewhere to stay in Hong Kong, and it's better than living in one of those like cage apartments, right? But it's definitely made filming content quite difficult, because I'm just reviewing the footage and I'm like, ugh, this is disgusting. Which is probably why I haven't really been in like maybe the best of moods when I'm talking. But yeah, what can we do? Just gotta roll with it and just film, right? Two kilometers into our easy run, and it's quite easy, which is good. Heart rate is around 134, 135, probably going higher because I'm talking. But the Run app is really nice, because if you connect your headphones to your phone, it will kind of give you the pace and a bit of voice assistance as well, like when to go faster, when to go slower. So yeah, just gonna be doing this, and yeah, probably we'll see you in the next video, to be honest, because there isn't really much else I have to say after this, apart from, you know, if you're new here, please like and subscribe. It'll really help me out, gives me the motivation and encouragement to continue making these videos, and I will see you in the next video.